Shalom and welcome to Daily Torah reading. We are in Exodus chapter 22. So let's pick it right up and let's start reading. Exodus 22 verse 1. If the thief is seized while tunneling and he is beaten to death, there is no blood guilt in his case. If the sun has risen on him, there is blood guilt in that case. He must make restitution. If he lacks the means, he shall be sold for his theft. But if his soul, whether ox or ass or sheep, is found alive in his possession, he shall pay double. When a man lets his livestock loose to graze in another's land, and so allows a field or a vineyard to be grazed bare, he must make restitution for the impairment of that field or vineyard. When a fire is started and spreads to thorns, so that stacked, standing, or growing grain is consumed, he who started the fire must make restitution. When a man gives money or goods to another for safekeeping, and if they are stolen from a man's house, if the thief is caught, he shall pay double. If the thief is not caught, the owner of the house shall depose before Yahweh that he has not laid hands on the other's property. In all charges of misappropriation pertaining to an ox, ass, a sheep, a garment, or any other loss, whereby one party alleges that is it, the case of both parties shall come before Yahweh. He whom Yahweh declares guilty shall pay double to the other. When a man gives to another an ass, an ox, a sheep, or any other animal to God, and he dies, or is injured, or is carried off, who, with no witness about, an oath before Yahweh shall decide between the two of them that one has not laid hands on the property of the other, the owner must acquit, and no restitution shall be made. But if the animal was stolen from him, he shall make restitution to its owner. If it was torn by beasts, he shall bring it as evidence. He need not replace what has been torn by beasts. When a man borrows an animal from another and it dies or is injured, its owner not being with him, he must make restitution. If its owner was with it, no restitution needs be made. But if it is hired, he is entitled to the hire. If a man seduces a virgin from whom the bride price has not been paid, and he lies with her, he must make her his wife by payment of a bride price. If the father refuses to give her to him, he must still weigh out silver in accordance with the bride price for virgins. You shall not tolerate a sorceress. Whoever lies with a beast shall be put to death. Whoever sacrifices to a god other than Yahweh alone shall be proscribed. 20. You shall not wrong a stranger or oppress him, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. You shall not ill-treat any widow or orphan. If you do mistreat them, you will heed the outcry as soon as they cry out to me. And my anger shall blaze forth, and I will put you to the sword, and your own wives shall become widows, and your children orphans. If you lend money to my people to the poor among you. Do not act toward them as a creditor. Exact no interest from them. If you take your neighbor's garment in pledge, you must return it to him before the sun sets. It is his only clothing, the sole covering for his skin, and what else shall he sleep? Therefore, if he cries out to me, I will pay heed, for I am compassionate. You shall not revile Yahweh, nor put a curse upon a chieftain among your people. You shall not put off the skimming of the first yield of your vats. You shall give me the firstborn among your sons. You shall do the same with your cattle and your flocks. 7 days it shall remain with its mother. On the 8th day you shall give it to me. 30. You shall be a holy people. You must not eat flesh torn by beasts. Let me read this again. Verse 30. You shall be a holy people to me. You must not eat flesh torn by beasts in the field. You shall cast it to the dogs. Chapter 23. You must not carry false rumors. You shall not join hands with the guilty to act as a malicious witness. You shall neither side with the mighty to do wrong. You shall not give perverse testimony in a dispute so as to pervert it in favor of the mighty. You shall not, nor shall you show deference to a poor man in his dispute. When you encounter your enemy's ox or ass wandering, you must take it back to him. When you see the ass of your enemy laying under the burden and would refrain from raising it, you must nevertheless raise it with him. You shall not subvert the rights of your needy in the disputes. Keep far from a false charge. Do not bring death on those who are innocent and in the right, for I will not acquit the wrongdoers. Do not take bribes, for bribes blind the clear-sighted and upset the pleas of those who are in the right. You shall not oppress a stranger, for you know the feelings of the stranger, having yourselves been strangers in the land of Egypt. 10. 6 years you shall sow your land and gather in it its yield. But on the 7th you shall let it rest, and lie fallow. Let the needy among your people eat of it, and what they leave let the wild beasts eat. You shall do the same with your vineyards and your olive groves. 6 days you shall do your work, but on the 7th day you shall cease from labor, in order that your ox and your ass may rest, and that your bondman and the stranger may be refreshed. Be on guard concerning all that I have told you. Make no mention of the names of other gods. They shall not be heard on your lips. 3 times a year you shall hold a festival for me. You shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, eaten unleavened bread for 7 days, as I have commanded you, at the set time in the month of Abib, for in that you went forth from Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty-handed. And the feast of the harvest of the first fruits of your work, of what you sow in the field, and the feast of ingathering at the end of the year, when you gather in the results of your work from the field. 3 times a year all your males shall appear before the sovereign Yahweh. You shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with anything leavened, and and the fat of my festal offering shall not be left lying until morning. The choice first fruits of your soul you shall bring to the house of Yahweh your God. You shall not boil a kid in its mother's milk. I am sending an angel before you to guide you on the way and to bring you to the place that I have made ready. 21. Pay heed to him and obey him. Do not defy him, for he will not pardon your offenses, since my name is in him. But if you obey him and do all that I say, I will be an enemy to your enemies and a foe to your foes. When my angel goes before you and brings you to the Amorites, the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Canaanites, the Hittites, and the Jebusites, and I annihilate them. You shall not bow down to their gods in worship or follow their practices, but shall tear them down and smash their pillars to bits. You shall serve Yahweh your God, and he shall bless your bread and your water, and I will remove sickness from your midst. No woman in your land shall miscarry or be barren. I will let you enjoy the full count of your days. I will send forth my Torah before you, and I will throw into panic all the people among whom you come, and I will make all your enemies turn tail before you. I will send a plague ahead of you, and it shall drive out before you the Hivites, the Canaanites, and the Hittites. I will not drive them out before you in a single year, lest the land become desolate and the wild beasts multiply to your hurt. I will drive them out before you, little by little, until you have increased and possesses the land. 31. I will set your border from the Sea of Reeds to the Sea of Philistia, and from the wilderness to the Euphrates, for I will deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and you will drive them out before you. You will not make you shall make no covenant with them and their gods. They shall not remain in your land, lest they cause you to sin against me, for you will serve their gods, and it will prove a snare to you. This concludes your daily Torah portion. May Yah walk with you. May you obey his commands and his instructions. May you follow him in the righteous way. Let God, the Yahweh of our faith and our deliverance, shine his light upon our path. May he lead us into his truth and righteousness, and fill us with his shalom. In Yeshua's name, amen. From Daily Torah reading, Shalom.